Hey there, viewers, and welcome back to the Self-Made Auto Channel. That's a 2016 Ford Fusion. It's the 1.5 turbo. Customer complaint is there's no defrost. It won't change modes to defrost. He tells me the hot and cold works just fine. All the other modes work fine, but it won't go to defrost. I thought it was kind of strange, so I pulled it in, obviously pushed buttons. None of the modes work. It does change from hot to cold. The recirculation works, but it's just stuck on panel. No floor, no defrost. So I'm assuming just a bad actuator. I did look on Mitchell to see how the system works, and indeed there is only one mode door actuator that controls all the modes. I didn't look to see how to change it or where it lives. It did say the book is like 1.6 hours, so it's probably not going to be very good to video, I'm assuming. It does appear that it has 5 wires, so it has 2 wires that run the motor, back and forth to change the modes, and then it has 3 other wires that run your standard 3-wire feedback circuit. I assume 5 volts. We got a ground, a 5-volt signal, and then or a 5-volt reference, and then a signal wire coming back so it can see the position of this motor and verify that it's working and all that. And it appears it gets its request to change and gives its feedback to the front interface control module, I guess. So we got a scan tool because we're gonna have to look at that. We're gonna see if it has codes in it for this actuator, see where it lives, and see if it's broke or if blend doors are broke or what the problem is. We'll hit OK here, and then what we'll do is we'll just let it go through a full system scan. Even though we're likely just going to be in that one control module, we'll just see. I assume if it's not moving, it has the ability to flag codes against it. Let's see. I already ordered us an actuator, so if we end up needing it, we'll have it. I'll let this go through and do its thing. Looks like we're all done scanning. Go here, we'll skip that. Let's get the full report. ABS has some codes, we're not worried about that. Light wasn't on. The A pin has some codes. Driver door module, here we go. Front control interface module. Air distribution dampener motor. That is, or air distribution damper motor, not dampener. So it does have a code for it, so that's good. I figured it probably would. We'll go in here, and like I say, there should be let's see, what do we have? Okay, we can do a PMI. See if we can control the actuators individually. Okay, air mode, front blower relay, left and right blend door. Okay, so we have some bidirectional controls there. So if we need to do some kind of testing, oops. Got hit back too many times. And then of course, we should be able to read data stream, air mode actuator. I don't know what, it's a percentage. I don't know if that's position or what it is. Okay, interesting. For defrost, heated front window. Okay. Just seeing what we have here for data PIDs. I don't know what this means. It is on panel, but I don't know what these PIDs represent. Okay, so there's what we have for data PIDs. All right, well, interesting. I don't see a 0 to 5 volt reference, feedback circuit. Let's see here. Yeah, the only actuator it shows is that one. That's what I thought. I'm just going to do some poking here, get my bearings, and then we'll carry on. I went in with the scan tool, tried the actuation test. Naturally, it's still stuck on panel. Looked at some of the data PIDs. Most of them are button inputs. When you push the touch screen, it will go from inactive to active, showing that you know, the button's being pressed, it's receiving the command anyway, so it sees it when I push the defrost button, which is good. And then the percentage value there is the feedback circle. That's where it's at, because if I change the temperature left or right, they also have a percentage value, and you can see those change. So that's all we need to know. Now we need to find out where it lives, see if we can get to it, see if you and I can both squeeze our heads in there. What's up, Miss O?
My dad's here.
The old man, huh? Does he need me? Does he need his favorite son-in-law? I'll see what I can do. You folks stand by. I have no idea how much we're going to be able to record on this, folks. It is a real PETA, it looks like, to get to. Step 1, it says remove steering column. So this little panel here just pops down initially. A few clips on that. Clip there and there. A few cigarette ashes. So wiring harness goes over to the, looks like the air intake or temp sensor probably for the HVAC. A couple screws on that. We've got a Tool Check Plus. It's the tool kit with a clip for the mechanic with the on-the-go lifestyle. These are looking like 8 mil, and they are not. They are 7. I was just testing you. So we have to remove this. I did look up in there. I can barely get my stinking head in there. I can see the actuator, and I can see the bottom screw on it. Appears to be a Phillips screw. I cannot see the top, so I'm thinking we will take the advice of the manufacturer and we will remove the column. But first I want to get this off. We probably should do some checks on it to see if it's receiving its command signal. Now, I don't know, once it sets a code, if it still receives the signal or not. I probably could get to it without pulling this off, but I'm assuming we're going to end up putting an actuator in it. This guy's been wrong before, I'll tell you that. Does this thing come off now? How does that come off? Okay. A couple more clips, a few cigarette ashes in the air. Breathe deep, baby. Let's see, let's set this to the side. Looks like we're gonna need a tool of some sort to get this baby out of there. Unhook that. I'll get a trim tool. It'd be nice if we could get the airbag right out of our way as well. I think we'll leave that in for the time being, because I do believe that once the column is out, I highly doubt I'm going to be able to show you guys up in here during the removal process, but I do think once it's out, boy, I don't know, is that going to be any benefit to us or not? It might allow us to reach our hand through this opening and get to the upper screw on it, hopefully. Let me fiddle with this. I'll show you guys what I find. I wish I could show you more, but I don't think I'll be able to. I grabbed our little AES Wave U scope because I was going to probe into that actuator down there. I looked on a diagram to see what color wires were the motor drive wires, and they didn't match what I have. That's because the actuator that you can see is not the actuator. The lower actuator is your driver's side temp. The one we're after is up high. I can't even see the connector on it. So this kind of puts us in a pickle because we can't even get to it to test the wires, which kind of sucks to see, is it receiving command? So it's kind of a pick'em, I guess. You can either pull that front control module apart, or we can finish taking the column out, and hopefully, at that point, hopefully we can see this sucker. Yeah, it puts us in a bit of a conundrum. Back to looking at our code before we get too far. We have our B, Bravo 1086 108607. Our code identifier, go brush your teeth. How that one is a 07, which is air distribution damper motor mechanical failure. And they have here, check for binding, damage linkage, repairs necessary. If nothing's wrong, install new door actuator. There are other suffixes there or code identifiers, an 11, a 12, a 13 for these 1086, which all have to do with circuit codes, short to ground, short to battery, or open circuit. So it appears that it can identify the motor circuit itself. And the reason I looked at that is because I was concerned. I want to tear this thing all apart to find out, it's, a wiring issue or something. It appears that if the motor was open circuited, we'd have a 1086 13. If it shorted the battery, we'd have a 1086 12. If it shorted to ground, a 1086 11. But we have a 1086 07, which just indicates mechanical failure. It's no longer moving. However, the motor circuit is intact. So I feel good about that. And I also feel good that the feedback signal from it appears to be working. It's at the 73%. So whatever that calculates out to. So we're going to go for it. I'm going to pull the column. We're going to skip the testing portion of it and do one of these. Maybe it's bound up mechanically. Maybe it's got too many cigarette butts in it. Looks like we have a torque bit down here. We'll pull that out. There's a bunch of sticky stuff down the side of the column here on this side. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. I think it's probably going to pop apart. A little difficult. We have a little cover right here. I don't know if that's going to be hiding a screw, but we're going to have a little look-see. Take that off. Perhaps it is. We'll get our head under here. It is. Aha! I was suspicious. There might be a screw hiding under there, and that one appears to be your classic 7mm. 7mm, they say, not a Torx. That Torx bit looks like it was probably somewhere around a T20. I do not have my glasses on, so I couldn't tell you what it says here on the Wear Toolkit Check Plus. I don't know if that's going to reach up in there and get it. Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. So unscrew that. There's that screw. We have another hidden trapdoor here, but that doesn't look like anything important. Oh, we got screws behind in the front of this column, too. We don't have to pull the stinking steering wheel, do we? Sometimes there's screws running through the front, but I don't see any there. So that's good. We could probably look at instructions and be a lot more efficient. I think I'm going to go do that. I'm kidding. I'm not going to do that. We just grab a little screwdriver. We do the hokey pokey. The hokey pokey. I used to be addicted to the hokey pokey, but then I turned myself around. Go ahead and use that one if you'd like. Classic dad joke. Alright, there's that. Must be another clippy down here. Where you at, Mr. Clippy? Let me look on the other side here. Classic dad joke. I was gonna cook some alligator the other day too at home, but all I had was a crock pot. Alright, there's our lower panel. I don't know if you guys can see that, but a couple clips there. Some mystery goo there. Oh, you guys can't see. Mystery goo clips across there. We still have our column running loose. The top cover here should come off. Nope, it's attached to the cluster up there, so we'll just leave that because we don't want to. I don't want to pull the cluster bezel. I'm just going to stick a piece of tape on this just to keep it up. We have some electrical connections here to remove, so we'll remove the harness. Let me stick the screws and stuff here with this lower half. Stick this outside on the floor because I want to put it where I can directly kick it and send the screws flying. An accident, of course. Then we'll spend half the day looking for those. Put it behind these fasteners here. There's that. Couple Christmas tree connectors there. The black one. The white one. I want to plug some stuff around the column. There's one connector. Oh, we got another push connector up here. Here's a little push nail. Christmas tree fastener. Oh, baby, come on down. There's that one. Oh, there's another one on this side. I like to do things where you can't see. Need a camera lady is what I need. It's pretty self-explanatory here. There's just some connectors and some clips. And that's it. Now your whole harness is hanging. Does your harness hang low? Does it wobble to and fro? And it looks like 10 mil, 10 mil, 10 mil. Bunch of 10 mils. Torx bit at the bottom. All right, so down at the bottom where the intermediate steering shaft hooks on there. Looks like a T something. We'll call it a T40. We're probably wrong. 10 mil disposable bolts. Ford says every time you take them out, you got to buy new ones. Naturally, and there's a wiring harness coming up the back. Ooh, that would have got you. That'd have been a little bit of suck. You're halfway out, yanking and pulling. Let's see where that goes. See what that involves. Unhooking, it must plug in somewhere nearby there because it ties back into another harness. Oh yes. Oh, it is for the collapsible steering column. It is yellow. Yellow. Danger, danger. I don't have a lick of a clue how it comes unhooked. It hooks up to an explosive device. We probably should have the battery unhooked, but this car also needs a state inspection. So we can't do that. So we're gonna have to live dangerously. Wow, that's a weird connector, man. Looks like it has a little push. It might have to have a pair of needle nose perhaps to unhook this one. Oh, nope, there we go. We got it. I'll have to get the column out and show you how that goes. Like I say, that's for the collapsible steering column. They put an explosive charge on the back of it. So when you crash, it goes kaboom. Arizona Archery Enterprises, not a sponsor. But if you want to shoot the best vanes in the industry, shoot AAE. At least that's what I do. I still suck. But I look cool. Alright, that's that. That's half the battle when you're out there. You just gotta look good. That's the Torx bit that goes in the bottom of the steering shaft. I went and whipped it out. I don't know what size it is. Ah, T40. I think that's what we even guessed. Now that is not splined. It goes one way. Whoa, dude. We don't want our column rotating away on us here, so I'm just gonna go ahead and guide that back in gently. Oh, great. Oh, great. No, I can't get it. What's the matter with you, fella? Well, I can't seem to spin on that thing. What in the world? I just took it off, my guy. Oh, there we go. It's my first day, excuse me. What I like to do, because apparently we don't have a steering column lock, is we're gonna throw some tape around the column because we don't want that spinning out of control, breaking our clock spring, if you know what I mean. So yeah, don't unhook it and then just go. Don't get all wild with it. Well, we have an extension that's about 12 inches too short to reach the bolts we need to get to. And then we're gonna need a swivel socket here. So other than bringing all of the wrong tools, we're on the right track. 10 mm. We're way up in there. Oh, big long one. Here's a big long one. There's that one. Oh. Whoa. There's that, drop both of them. Neither one of them hit the floor. They're up on that airbag, so here's those. We got to order the new ones from Ford. Replace them every single time. Anytime you touch them, look at them, or pull them out, according to service data. We'll loosen up that one. We'll loosen up that one. Leave it kind of holding for us for right now. Take that one out. Same bolt. Okay. Take your green tape, your 3M Scotch, 233 plus. Tear yourself off a piece. We're going to use it to hold our little upper column cover to the dash. And then we're going to come in clutch, show you a little move Meemaw taught me. It's called the column wrapper. We fix your car. We use duct tape. Don't use duct tape. This stuff seems to work pretty good. You just want to keep it from spinning around is all. There's probably better ways to do it. I'm 95% certain that there is. I like to use the crisscross method, where we just kind of crisscross it across the steering wheel. Who likes crisscross? Huh? Crisscross will make you wickety 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 whacked. There's some throwback to that. Get there, putting your pants on backwards, huh? Flashback to 8th grade ish. There, that's our steering column lock. Whoa, dude. Now we can unhook it from the intermediate steering shaft down there. Get unhooked, you mother. We just had it unhooked, bro. There it is. You're unhooked now. Everything's all cattywampus. All cattywampus, but we're not rotating, so that's good. Finished screw removal. Put that right down there. Slide this baby on out. Ooh. Stick it on the floor. Mat. There it is. Now, we're wide open. Now it's easy. Now it's easy, they say. Oh, it is right in the wide open now. You go for it. I wouldn't even bother trying this without column removal. We'll get our 4 bolts that will obviously be replacing for liability purposes. You have to trust me on that. I'll set them to the side with our lower bolt. Okay. There's nothing else in our way. They did make a mention in service data that there potentially could be something else in the way here that would have to be removed. They used some 4-digit acronym that I am not familiar with. There's a wiring harness up here that is in our way. We're going to go up with our SK. What's the part number on this thing? 6646. It is the adjustable trim clip tool. It is always on a forever back order. My biggest fear is breaking this thing. I now own 3 of them. I have 2 brand new ones. I've never broken the OG, but it is perhaps my favorite trim clip wiring harness removal tool on the planet. I can just push this harness back out of the way up here. We do not have to remove that clip, I don't believe. But I think I'm going to, just because. And then I'm going to get the camera around here. I'm going to show you what's up. Let me show you where we're at. So here is your actuator. Like I say, ours is right out here in the wide open. Here's the wiring harness clip that I just removed. And then here's the connector that goes in the bottom of it that I just removed. So easy peasy. There's 2 screws. There's one Phillips head up here in that top corner. And there's one down here in the bottom right hand corner. I'm going to remove both of those, thereby removing the actuator. Then we can tell if there is actual mechanical bindage or not. If there is, then this job just got a whole lot more stupid, okay? If there's not, then we're going to throw an actuator on it. Unfortunately, with the column removed, we can't even do, you know, any testing there. So we're going to have to trust the code set criteria and the code validator, or whatever it is, the suffix after that code. So let's pull that out. Both of the screws are removed. The top one on the left, frick. I was just gonna tell you, the top left one's a real mother lover to get out. And now I've just dropped it and potentially lost it forever, because I do not see it now. There it is, it's on the floor. So this one here is a real mother friggity frigger. So I got it out with that, just a little ratchet with screwdriver tip. So those are both the screws. Now I believe we should be able to wiggle. There it is. There's our actuator. It is removed. Now we need to check to see, is it mechanically bound or not? I can't tell because I can't get anything in there. I don't know if this little drive unit comes out. I need to see what I can get up in there. It just has the female half up in there of this male peg. You know, it's like the whole boy-girl thing going on here. It has some labels on the 0, 45, 260, 210.2. I need to see if I can get something up in there and turn this. It'd be nice if we could have the key on, because then we could tell if it's actually switching modes. Let me see if I can find something that fits in there. You can see the white female half up there right above that connector. I was able to rotate it. It doesn't rotate like super smooth, and all I did is just use the male peg here on the actuator and go up in there and rotate it around, and you can see the linkage and all the junk back there move. So I think we're gonna be okay. We're gonna stuff the new one in there and hope for the best. Napper showed up. We slid that baby right up in there. It has the wings of death on it. Don't judge me, folks. Don't judge me. Ford couldn't get us one for a few days. So there it is. You're gonna want to cross your fingers a lot across all of them. And let's slide the column in, temporarily plug it in, and make sure all of this functions. Dun, dun, dun. Here's our connector for the collapsible steering column. They're the two black pinch tabs on the side. You pinch that and then pull it straight out. All right, we're ready to slip this baby in. The Wings of Death, if you're not familiar with it, that is a Dorman Products logo, not Van Halen as you might think. And as many of you know, they do not have the best track record out there. We're going to slide this in ever so gingerly. We'll hold it right there. Open up my package of the new bolts. Get them put in. Get these top two started. That's a little shelf it sits on, makes it kind of nice. Let's get those started here very gingerly. Look up the torque value on them. All right, so that's enough to hold it for us. We don't want to get too carried away. We did just install a Dorman actuator. And then what we're going to do is we're going to untape the column that we taped excessively to keep it from rotating. use your dull knife, tear through the tape. Ta-da! We'll grab our new bolt out of the package for the bottom of the steering column here. Slip that in ever so gingerly. Keep that right there. Naturally, we will come back and put a little Loctite on that one. I always like Loctite in those steering column bolts, or the intermediate shaft bolts. Whether it's in service data or not, we always Loctite them, even if we got the brand new bolt. Mother! Gotta reach that one. There's that one. We'll put that in very lightly for the moment. There's that one. That one. And now what we need to do is plug everything back up. Plug it up before we cut the key on. Wow. And then figure out where all the little Christmas tree fasteners go here. Some kind of special goo dripping out of the column right there. The mystery goo. We always see a lot of that in cars. The mystery goo. There, that looks like where everything went there. This went on a lower knee bolster. I'm going to take care of my tools here. And before we cut the key on, as they say, we're going to have to go under there and do something. We have to plug in the back of the column so we don't get an airbag light. Oh, let's get our face back under here. Where'd the wiring harness go, my guy? Oh, there it is. Let's see. Find the plugger. It is plugged back up. Now I'm stuck. Oh, there, pearl. Now I'm out. Nobody worry. Let's see, we can let go of our tape here. All right, no reason we cannot cut the key on. Let's plug in. Oh, I just dropped my screw. Let me find the other screw here. Let's plug this thing back in. Our little air sensor there. Got some cigarette ashes in it. We just want to plug that in because we don't want anything setting codes in the module that's going to hinder us. Leave those screws on the floor. Knock the cigarette ashes out of your hat. Put it back on your head. Grab the key. Keep your face away from the airbag in case it explodes. Well, wipers are on. Let's fire it up. Oh, it's got a little buzzy vibration thing happening. All right, let's move you folks here. We're gonna go to climate. Put it on full blow. Something vibrating, or is it? Turbo. Okay, so we're blowing out the vent right now, as you can see. Hit floor, get rid of panel, see what. Oh, the blower turned off up here. Oh yeah, she's stirring up the cigarettes now. Let's go to defrost. Oh, you hear the change. All right. Turn it up to a good even temperature there. 69. Oh, you can make it do all three things at once. Look at that. Go back to panel. Huzzah! He says, huzzah. Okay, let's grab our scan tool. Actually, I think we can finish buttoning this up. I don't think we need to scan until we got no lights on. We need to torque. We need to get everything tightened up before we forget. Quit screwing around here. Okay, folks, so that's pretty easy. Let's run this wiring harness back here how it belongs. Nope, incoming. It's not a threat of nuclear war, folks. It is our noon whistle. Some people ask about that. Some of these old villages have the fire alarm go off every day at noon and 12 times on Saturdays. There's a fun fact for you. And it also goes off at 10 o'clock for the curfew, you know, that the village hasn't had since I was a kid. I'm going to go through, I'm going to torque all of those bolts to factory specs. Obviously the new bolts we got there, and then the new bolt that we have for the lower half of the column. I'm going to put a little blue Loctite on that, torque that to spec as well, snap our cover back on here, snap our column covers together, and we're going to flush this toilet. It's not a bad job, really. I mean, once you get the column out of the way, which isn't that bad of a job. Snug that one up. Snug that one up. Harness is all ran back through there. Click it in. Well, the grit and finger goo will hold it all together. What are we missing here? We're missing that little cover. Where'd you go, little cover? There you have it, folks. So not really too bad of a job, to be honest with you. Pulling the column out is really not that big a deal. The biggest thing is don't, you know, pull it out and, you know, play around with it. You will break the clock spring, then it gets expensive, then it gets stupid. So just tape it up so the column can't rotate, and, you know, obviously put it in the same way you took it out. The intermediate steering shaft is not splined, so you don't have to worry about your wheel alignment, or your wheel, yeah, I guess it would be your steering wheel alignment being off, because it only goes on one way, and that's it. Evidently on certain model Fords, there is something that goes in front of that actuator. I don't know, they had this big long acronym because that's what Ford likes to use, like, oh, the ABC elemental P, you got to take that out. And whatever it is that could possibly go there, it was only held on with 2 bolts to get that out of the way, and then you can get to your actuator. I wouldn't even try to do it without pulling the column. For the few minutes it takes to take it out, just get it out of your way, and then you don't have to sit there and piss around trying to get those screws out. I hope I don't regret using Dorman products. I'm really hoping so in my heart and soul. If I do, then obviously I'll eat it, and you know, we'll make it right. We'll order one from Ford, but as it is right now, it works perfectly. It switches modes. Hopefully you could hear that. It's hard to reflect airflow on a video without having like a Kleenex or something to stick in front of it, but trust me, it switches modes, and this guy's gonna be happy. And I'll be happy if I go down there and read your comment in that comment section. Questions, comments, put them down there. Insta, we can be found there. The Facebook, we can be found there as well. And just remember, viewers, if I can do it, you can do it. Thanks for watching.